All right, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Fundamentals. Today I'm going to just talk a little bit about the amazing, fantastic, sorry, correction, the amazing, your friendly Spider-Man that was just the finished up the finale. I'm also going to talk about the Avatar: Last Airbender news and a really cool, exciting, wild Scotland con. So let's get it. Let's do this. All right, hey guys, what's up? It is episode 29 of Fundamentals, and just to kind of address a little bit of the elephant in the room, I am soloing today. It's the first time ever doing this, so bear with me. But Blake is on the road to recovery, so he is resting up, getting well. Hopefully, he's in the comments here soon. Just kind of backing up your girl. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some Marvel now. Like I guess we should. All right. So, like I said at the very beginning, we're going to be talking about a very spoiled finale, two-episode finale, if you will, of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So, we had episode 9, which was called Hero or Menace, kind of going playing a little bit off of Joe Jonah Jameson from the first original Spider-Man, and how he was doing the Daily Bugle, and he said, "Is Spider-Man a hero or a menace?" And there we go. Hey Blake, what's up? So we start out with Doc Ock in prison because in the previous episodes, he got to go into prison because he's a bad guy. And that's what happens when you're a bad guy. So he's reading the Sokovia Accords and he's kind of like, he's got his law books over by him and he's kind of just chuckling about it. We um, get to see that Norman Osborn actually visits him in jail, and it's a really interesting scene because you see Norman kind of like boasting about the fact that like, haha, Ock, like I'm the guy that's on top. I know you said that I would be begging you for a job, but here we are. You're in jail. I'm out of jail. I'm actually the one that tipped off the guys to get you there. Obviously, rightfully so. Doc Ock gets really mad and he smashes like the plexiglass that's between him and sorry, correction, Norman. And you just get to see the just the the pure muscle of this man, and you never really got to think about that. And hey, Jamie, what's up? I'm glad that you're here in the comments too. So what ends up happening after that is Norman had said that he was getting all of Doc Ock's, like all of his prototypes, all of his records and everything that he's been working on all of this time. So obviously he has like the gang, the guys, the gang, the movers not being paid by pizza this time, actual money. They're moving stuff out of Doc Ock's room and into a truck. Obviously 110 is there and it's like, all right, we're gonna get it. So then a kind of car speed chase ensues, and that they almost like kill your girl Nico. She got really almost smashed by a truck, and that was wild. But you get to see Nico kind of like hold her amulet, and it looks like she's about to use that like mysterious power that we still have yet to really get to see. But before she gets to do that, Spider-Man pops up and is like holding up the truck. And right now, Spider-Man and Nico, or Peter and Nico, are kind of not on simpatico terms, just because Nico just found out that Peter is Spider-Man and that whole shebang shabil. But Spider-Man, he like held up that truck. She's all shocked and she's like, "My hero," but also like, "I'm so mad at you," but not really at the same time because he just saved her life. And then all of a sudden, he scoops her up and he swings her off to safety. And then you get to see the Scorpions show up and, the 110 and Nico, or sorry, the 110 and the Scorpions kind of start like fighting against each other, and Peter comes back and he definitely gets some PTSD because Scorpion's there. And the last time we saw was Peter and Scorpion together. Peter pretty much was unconscious, right? Like he got his suit torn up and he just wasn't able to be what he wanted to be anymore. And then yes, like Blake had said, that Big Donovan is not. He ended up kind of just running away, which was sad. It was a sad day for them. Um, but anyway, after Peter kind of gets over his PTSD, where you get to see like all of his sweat, all of his anxiety really happening, he gets over it, and then you get to see this really cool scene where Spider-Man and Tombstone or Lonnie team up and they start fighting together against Scorpion. So this was right after Lonnie gets into the back of that Oscorp truck and he breathes in that Diox 3 gas that kind of starts to make him that different colored Tombstone that we'll start to see in the next episode. That was really neat. Right before they start fighting, they put Lonnie's face and Spider-Man mask face like next to each other, kind of like how you see Peter and the Spider-Man face like masked like next to each other. You get to see like Lonnie and the Spider-Man do that together, and that was really neat. Lonnie has like indestructible skin now, and he's like super strong. So he's like, hell yeah! Like they team up and they like start fighting. So Scorpion ends up getting arrested, and Peter and Lonnie kind of are like, all right, we should probably like get out of here before the cops start asking questions. So then they run away, and then you get to see a really cool scene where Peter is in the alley and he goes upside down, and Nico's right there, and we're all thinking, oh my God, it's the iconic Spider-Man upside down. It's the kiss scene. But instead of that happening, Nico fucking turns around and she socks him in the face. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you can't just scare a girl like that. So in all fairness, you really shouldn't be doing that. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then the last scene before we get the end credits is we see that Osborn is talking on the phone, and or no, he's talking in the big room with the head scientist, and it kind of cuts away to his lab. So we got to see in the previous episode when Peter was on the table and they, like were trying to resuscitate him and stuff. They took a vial of his blood, and we didn't really know why they took the vial of the blood. And now we finally get to know why. So he's like breeding spiders to make the infinite army of Spider-Man, and we're just like left with that and like, oh my God, what is gonna happen? So, needless to say, we go into episode 10, and yeah, Blake, I so did not expect the Lonnie and Spider-Man team up, and we didn't know we needed it until we saw it, and that was super neat. It was awesome. Um, so now in episode 10, it's called If This Be My Destiny. And boys and girls, like the epitome of finales, this is it. It made me feel good. I was so happy with how this ended. It ended exactly just so great. Anyway, so it starts with the Spider-Man, like he should be at school and he's not there because he's fighting crime, and Pearl and Peter were working on a diorama of like, I don't know, some type of like CO2 something or another. Um, so instead of being there, he's fighting, and Pearl's like sweating bullets because she thinks that like Peter's not going to get there with the project, and he's it like, and it's 90% of their grade. It's like a significant part of their grade. So Pearl, being who she is, she's all like nervous, and she's like, oh my God, Peter's not here. And but Nico is in that class, and he goes like, well, I know where he is. Like she's texting him like, I'm gonna get no, come on, like it's time for class to start, and you got to be here. But like it was really cool to see Harry be the man in the chair, and Nico kind of like being that girl that's on the inside. And then like the teacher is like, all right, like let's go. All right, so the next person to start like their their class projects, and he starts to look down the list, and he immediately starts to zoom in kind of like on Pearl and Peter. And before he could say anybody's name, Nico like pops up and he's like, "I'll take it." She's like, "I got it. Don't worry." And he's like, "That's unusual because you usually like sleeping or whatever." So it was really cute. Peter gets there in the nick of time. The thing's broken though. The diorama's broken, but the third girl, whose name I can't remember right now off the top of my head, she ends up actually being the one that kind of saves the day. So we kind of cut to Peter going into Oscorp, where they're starting to talk about this big final project and how everybody's little side projects now go together for this really big project. And we get to see the gateway, um, which isn't really like a gateway like that, but they start to turn it on, and Norman's like all impressed, and then they realize that they didn't turn it on yet, and this is actually when Strange comes back. Um, Strange comes back and is just like, "Man, like you can't be doing this. It's gonna not end up great." And they're like, "Damn it, we're gonna do it." And they like suppress the shit out of him, and they open up the portal, and lo and behold, who comes out but Venom? Venom is back. And obviously not good things start. And the lab starts getting torn up, and Peter kind of like looks in his bag at the Spider-Man suit and is like, I guess it's the time to team up with Doctor Strange. So they start teaming up, and coming into like uh figuring out that they need to put him back into his like homeland kind of thing. So Peter starts to try to re-get the gateway back up and running, and while this is happening, Strange is like kind of like, I guess, for lack of better terms, like distracting Venom. And what we get to see, which is really cool, is we get to see him put like a ring on the floor, kind of like the same ones that we usually see with the yellow circle. But we get to see him put one on the floor, and it's blue. And then all of a sudden, Venom like hits him, and it turns green because it's using the green stone, the time stone, if you will. And they go into the portal, and now it's back in time. So this is before we get to see them go through the portal, and Strange is like, "Where are we?" And you see the Midtown High sign, and you realize it's that scene that we got right at the beginning before Peter had his powers, because the the spider, I'm sorry, I'm getting really excited, but the spider hadn't bitten him yet because the spider hadn't come out of this portal yet. And the portal is the portal that is in the future, that it's like life finds a way, from Jurassic Park. That was the vibes that I got from it, is that Peter was always supposed to be Spider-Man, and it's Peter's blood that he gets bitten with to make him into Spider-Man. It was a bonkers like move on Marvel's part, and I was so excited to see it. Yes, the time loop, to see that Peter got bit by his own DNA. It was just insane to see, and it was amazing. So anyway, you get to see them go back, and then the spider gets like to come down the little portal, and then they close the sling ring of the yellow ring. Peter gets bitten by the spider. But anyway, they finally get the gateway up and running. And when that happens, they're like, "All right, well, Venom's got to go back to his universe. Like, what does that look like?" And then we get to see this, the symbiote hive of all of these faces, just like coming out, and eh, to see that, and then they finally get Venom to go back into the portal, and they shut it down because they're because like Spider-Man's standing there, and he's like using all of his power and all of his might to like bring down this gateway. And yeah, it is true that Doctor Strange is often surprised by his own spells. Um, and this was one of them, because he very much realized at that point what happened. Um, to make Peter into who he is. So anyway, you get to see like them finally get Venom back into the portal. Uh, Peter uses all of his strength and gets that portal to go down. And then the next thing we know is that we see Spider-Man and Strange just kind of talking to each other, and Spider-Man, he's just like, I mean, like, I don't think that I'm ready for this. How do I know? Like, because obviously you've seen the past and the future. Like, how do I know if I'm ready? And he's like, I have a feeling that you are. Like, what is coming ahead? Even if I can't tell you, even if I could know, if I did know, I couldn't even tell you. So then the next thing that we see, oh, is Strange going into, his little sling ring, and then it closes, and whose face do we see in the sky but Owatu? The Watcher, just standing there, looking at Peter, and oh my god, that I screamed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I'm so happy that happened. So that happened, and then they realized that Norman Osborn really isn't that great of a guy. He's kind of going underneath all these investigations, like why did he think that this was a good idea? And then Harry, Nico, and Peter were all sitting in like the living room of Peter's apartment, and Aunt May is there, and she's just like, I'm gonna go head out, and she kind of like dips out. And we're gonna get to that later, as to where she went. But while they were sitting there, Harry's like, this is stupid. Like, there's something that we totally could do. Like, if only we could just have what my dad made, but actually make it into what it should be. And Nico's like, well, fucking do it then. Like, you have the resources, you have the money, you have the connections, do it. And he was like, oh yeah, like, why didn't I just do that? So he makes Web, which is called the Worldwide Engineering Brigade. And he kind of sends out like a laundry list of invites at the very top. You get to see Peter Parker's name. Um, and it kind of goes through everybody who got like the invite. And while that's happening, then we get to see Jean. And Jean is not looking like she's Jean right now because she is in Finessa's outfit. And who is with her and talking with her but Daredevil? So you get to see that Jean's always been working with Daredevil, and her name as a superhero, her name is Finesse. And you get to see that. You get to see Tombstone kind of like with the tips of his fingers start to color that like ashy color that we're used to seeing as Tombstone. You get to see Doc Ock in his cell with the arms, which are more than 6 this time, guys. There are like 8. So he is actually really becoming the octopus, Doctor Octopus. And then the last thing that we got to see our very own Josh Keaton voicing somebody that was in jail with a R. Parker jumpsuit, and it is Richard Parker. It is Peter's dad. He's alive and he's in jail. So, season 2 is already going, and um, it's absolutely insane and absolutely right, Jamie. Like Marvel nailed this, and I can't wait. And yeah, Webb is established from the Spider-Man ride at Disney, that we talked about with the Stark, because Webb is supposed to be part of Stark, but now Webb in this series is now a Harry Osborn type thing. So I love that they're just incorporating little pieces of little doodads here and there. But if you haven't seen Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, so recommend it. It's been an absolute joy to watch, and you should get on it because it's all out now and you can binge watch it. It's 10 episodes. And they're like only like 30 minutes or whatever an episode. And it's all before, Daredevil, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But the last thing that I wanted to talk about for Spider-Man is that we did get to hear that Spider-Gwen is going to be coming in season 2. So she will be making her debut then, and I love the look of this. I love just really all of it. It's I'm so excited. I want more now. But all in due time. But to kind of go into the next topic, it's going to be Daredevil. So we got to see we got to see a little teaser at first before they had the clip that was released, like the first clip. So the teaser, we got to see this the Daredevil Born Again graffiti sign, which looks really neat. And I can't wait. It's 9 days away, and we got to learn that Daredevil 1 and 2 are together, like we talked about in the last episode. But then 3 and 4 are going to be like separate. But then 5 and 6 episodes are also going to be together. So you're going to have like 2 episodes, one, 2 episodes. And then we don't know what's going to be happening with the rest of the episodes as they come out. So super excited to see that, and absolutely right. It is only 9 days away, and Jamie, you should be super like psyched about it. It's happening. Um, sorry, excuse me. So the next thing that we got to have come out was the first clip, and we got to kind of see a little bit of a teaser of this in the original like trailer, and it was just the scene of you know, uh, Daredevil and Wilson Fisk like actually just like talking it out at that coffee shop, and we got to hear more of what they had to say. Um, all really excited and interesting things. So if you haven't seen that, definitely recommend that. And then we got some news. I think about 2 days ago is that if you ever watched a little show called Hawkeye, they had a character in it called the Swordsman, and he's actually returning in this series. So, super excited about that. He was great to watch, and his character arc has been great to really just pay attention to. So I can't wait to see what they, do with that. And yeah, the longer seams keep on making it just seem so much more solid. But Marvel, it's been doing great. We have 2 out of the 9 projects that are supposed to come out this year. However, we have been saying that they had new projects coming out, but now we know that some of those projects are delayed, unfortunately. Um, so the projects that we know that are supposed to be delayed are Nova. So all of our fans out there that were waiting for Nova, another series called Strange Academy, and we'll talk about that in a second as to what that is. And another one that they were coming out called Terror Inc. And it looked like it was just like the Marvel monsters rather than like how DC is doing their monster stuff right now. It looks like that was what that Terror Inc. was supposed to be, was their monsters. But Strange Academy was a series that was expected to follow Wong and his leadership through the school with like America, the Chavez. So and, a lot of people have been really excited about these shows coming out. I don't think that necessarily them being delayed is a bad thing, just because that means they have more time to work on their storyline and their character arcs and everything that we really love, especially since most of them are animated, it looks like, at least with the Nova and Terror Inc. We know that animation takes time. And Blake said in the comments that Brandon Davis is probably the most sad about Nova, and I would like to agree with that. That was the only one that we really knew was happening here at Fundamentals. I mean, I didn't even know that Strange Academy or Terror Inc. was a thing until they said that they were delayed, and I was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't know that was the thing. Oh, and thank you for the correction, Blake. Nova is live action, or soon to be whenever it comes out. It's supposed to be live action. So that's good to know. So all of those projects are delayed, And another thing that unfortunately has gotten delayed just by a week or so is Spider-Man 4. We know that it was supposed to come out on, I believe, like the 26th of July or something like that. But now it has been delayed to July 31st. So it's just a week different. Not anything too upsetting, but there are many reports that they delayed a week because Odyssey, which we'll talk about in a bit as well, is coming out during that same time, and they didn't want them to be happening at the same time. To have a spider to see, I don't know. I'll work on that name, and probably other people have too. But um, they have delayed Spider-Man 4 as of right now. Nothing that's like super unfortunate because it's not like the Spider-Verse where it's been delayed and delayed and delayed, and it's more than just 1 week delayed now. Um, it's just a week, so not too unfortunate, but life moves on. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some DC. All right, cool. So the first thing on our DC docket for this week is Sergeant Rock. It was something that I wasn't really familiar with, but I kind of had to get my feet underneath me and figure out what this was. So Sergeant Rock is a DC project that is like a World War II soldier that first appeared in the comics in 1959, and he's supposed to be like this tough as nails laser. Sorry, correction, leader of like the East Company. So we were supposed to have Daniel Craig as our Sergeant Rock. However, he has recently dropped out. It's not because he thinks that the script is trash or anything. It's just because he had scheduling conflicts with his wife, who is Rachel Wise, the girl from The Mummy, which I didn't even know that they were married. So I learned even more things today, or when I wrote this. So that was just, yeah. So he was supposed to be Sergeant Rock, and like they had like fan art of what he would look like as Sergeant Rock, and it all looked really great. Um, and but he had to drop out. But now, instead of having Daniel Craig for it, they're eyeing Jeremy Allen White from the Bear to be, the Sergeant Rock now. So they're really hoping to start filming in the summer in their like UK hub at DC studios, but because like we had these characters fall out and everything's been happening, we're not really sure as to if that's going to continue and if Jeremy White's actually going to accept the role and continue the mantle. So that was unfortunate, to read about, but it's okay. But good things that are coming from DC is the none other than Mike Flanagan's Clayface. We know that Mike Flanagan is coming out with this Clayface. It's supposed to be coming out in 2026, and recently they got a director. So James Watkins, who is the director for Speak No Evil, is coming out with now this. He's set to direct the Mike Flanagan's Clayface. So super excited that that's happening because I mean, Speak No Evil was really great, and Mike Flanagan's really great with everything he does. So I can see no wrong with this so far, and everything has just been rocking and rolling. Um, but another really cool thing that happened is that James Gunn, he met up with Zack Snyder and made this post on X, as they now call it. It's just a pleasure catching up with my friend Zack Snyder. Really great filmmaker and a great storyteller. So now everybody's kind of running their brains as to what this could possibly mean, and if that means that the Snyderverse and the Gunverse are meeting up, or if maybe Snyder is going to be taking over for one of the movies, or what this all means. because there was a announcement made back in December, that I can't even remember who it was, but there was an interview that happened, and the guy had said, like, I shouldn't really even be saying this, but there is going to be a really big announcement that's going to be coming out, and like there's going to be some crossover stuff happening. So the fact that we now know that Gunn and Snyder have at least been in the same room, and um, just, the meeting of the minds, if you will, of what is this. And then there has been some rumors that Matt Reeves was also involved in this meeting of the minds. And absolutely right, Blake, what is going on here? Nobody knows. It's just all exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go into the Educated Wish Entertainment segment for this week. All right, like we talked about before, Spider-Man 4 got pushed back because of Odyssey. So we're gonna go ahead and start talking about Odyssey because, god damn it, I'm excited. Homer's Odyssey has always been something that's been near and dear to my heart, and now we have this movie coming out, and I'm excited. So we get to have a little first look of Matt Damon in Odyssey, and the just the colors and the prompt, the just the soldieredness of it looks so good. I'm so excited. I can't explain how excited. Like, I can say it again and again. You guys won't know until you actually either read it or just go see it, but either way, it's a great story. And I can't wait to see it. There's nothing else that I can really say than I'm really excited, and I'm a generally like really happy person apparently today. So let's just keep this train rolling with Jurassic World Rebirth. So if you guys didn't know, there is a dinosaur called the Spinosaurus. And the last time that we got to see the Spinosaurus was back at Jurassic Park 3. And this is where it was, so we got to see it 25 years ago. And if you guys didn't see in the trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth, we got to see them in the water. So after 25 years of not seeing this dinosaur, we're getting the dinosaur back. The amount of callbacks that we have seen thus far with Jurassic World Rebirth and how it recalls onto Jurassic Park, and I haven't seen them recalling anything on the other Jurassic Worlds, which makes me happy because I wasn't a fan of the other Jurassic Worlds, but Jurassic Park is where my bread and butter is. And to see Jurassic World really getting back into the roots and calling back to Jurassic Park, I can't be happier. And Blake is absolutely right. July is just going to be a great month for us nerds, and for everybody that's really a moviegoer. There's going to be some great content to get out there and watch. So Netflix is coming out with a D&D live action series. You know, I enjoy playing D&D now that I've found out that that's like a new part of my life, a new nerdum that I have ventured into. The D&D movie with Chris Pine was great. I absolutely enjoyed it. And now we're getting a new series at Netflix, and it's going to be following the Forbidden Realms. And what the Forbidden Realms is, just based off of a little bit of Googling that I did, it's supposed to be an adventure about a band of heroes. So, you usually have like your different, like your bards and your, sorry, I played bard and that's where my brain immediately went. But you have like all the other players, like your rogues and your, just other players whose names that I can't remember, and I'm so sorry that I am totally spacing on this. But anyway, so it's an adventure about a band of heroes, not really sure what kind and what type of heroes, because there are so many of them, who get into trouble in a port city of Waterdeep, and they soon discover the seedier corners of the wider realms. So it's adventure. and I love adventure. And I can't wait to see what they do with this because, like I said again, I love D&D, and it's just probably going to be an all-around great time. Um, and yeah, even for the people who weren't really into D&D, you enjoyed the movie, right, Blake? And that probably means that you're also going to enjoy this series too, because it looks like it's a great time, and Netflix really somehow hasn't done too terrible of a job yet, um, with all of the things that they've been putting out, in my mind, anyway. So another thing that we're going to talk about is The Last of Us. So an HBO exec kind of did like an interview and said, we have The Last of Us season 2 that's going to be coming out, and they said that they want to run it for like 4 seasons. So we've only had one come out so far. We have the video games that they're still making and doing things with, but they want to do 4 seasons of this. Pedro Pascal's, laundry list of activities has apparently just keeps going up. But anyway, they had a couple of posters that dropped, and this also released the release date for when we're going to be expecting season 2. So there was 3 of them that dropped. You got your Pedro Pascal one, the girl whose name I don't know because I haven't really dived into Last of Us, and I'm sorry. And then you have this one as well. All looks great. I think it's really cool that Pedro Pascal is looking to the left and the 2 ladies are looking to the right. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything or if I'm just reading into things, but April 13th is when, The Last of Us is supposed to be coming out. So yes, The Last of Us can't get here soon enough. It does release April 13th, which is on a Sunday, and we're expecting them to release every Sunday after that. To kind of go into that. So Minecraft. There was a teaser that dropped for Minecraft, and good God, it has people talking, and not for great reasons, because the villagers. What is happening with their faces? It is scary, it is wild, nobody likes it, and I understand the video game, and I understand the blockiness, but Jack Black's character isn't blocky, so, like, why are we doing this? Why did we decide that this was a good idea? I don't know. But, Minecraft is a thing that is coming out at some point in time because I totally forgot to write down the date. I think it's in May-ish. Correct me if I'm wrong though. But I don't know why we're getting this um so blocky. Like I understand the block mechanics of it. But I just don't understand why their faces look the way that they do. And that's just me. I could be wrong, and I could be thinking of it too literally. Rings of Power season 3 has officially been confirmed. And the people that have watched season 1, season 2 was so much better and much more fulfilling. But now we're getting a season 3. So look out for that and the date of whenever that's going to be coming out. We don't really have much data on that yet, but it has been confirmed. Season 3 is a thing that will be happening. Dune 3, to continue with our threes, is supposed to start production in June. And for those of you that don't know, the first 2 Dunes, Dune 1 and Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2, or part of like the Dune books. Dune 3 or Part 3 is supposed to be called Dune Messiah. They haven't officially, released that as its name yet. This is the cover of one of the books that I found really awesome and neat with the Paul Atreides look. So I decided to use that for the photo for today. So Dune 3 is supposed to start production in June of, 2025. Yeah, 2025. However, like Zendaya's calendar's really full right now. Like Odyssey, we know it's filming. Euphoria season 3 is also in production, and as we know, Spider-Man 4, which we just talked about, is also supposed to start filming in the summer. So, I don't know if it's feasible for them to start filming in, you know, June, summertime, but if there's a will, there's a way. So I'm sure that they will find some information there soon. Apparently, season 3 of The Rings of Power is supposed to be a big jump in time. Thank you, Blake, for backing me up on that. And we are more interested in Dune Prophecy season 2 because that series was really good. So if you guys didn't watch Dune Prophecy, also super recommend that. That's on HBO for you to take a gander at. Wicked, we talked about it last week. We actually have a date that is supposed to be coming out now on Peacock. It is March 21st, so just a little under a month away. We are finally going to be able to watch Wicked again. For those that haven't watched it, super recommend it as a person that went to go watch it in the theater. It does it very much justice, and now you have less time that you have to wait, unlike all of us that watched it on opening day back in November of last year and have to wait for November of this next year for part 2 to come out. So it's coming out onto Peacock March 21st. Constantine 2 has officially been sorry. Constantine 2 has officially been greenlit. We talked about how it was rumored before, but now we know for sure that it is a thing that is happening. So, super excited about that. It is on IMDb as well, but there isn't really a lot more information out about it. And Keanu Reeves is supposed to be in it. For those of you that don't know what that looks like. For those of you that like older movies and how they're coming out with sequels, Hancock 2. Will Smith kind of came out and was like, I want to do sequels for my movies. So he's doing a Hancock 2 and I Am Legend 2. He kind of announced both of them at the same time, saying that he would like them to, be a thing that they're starting to do. Jamie says that she absolutely loves Constantine, and Blake also is looking forward to seeing Constantine. And he loves Hancock as well. So Hancock, great movie. Charlize Theron and Will Smith, great movie. Came out back in 2008. So now he's saying that he would like to come out with the second one. So this is like the kind of like the look of the first one if you haven't seen it. But he kind of surprised us all and said that he's eyeing Zendaya for a role. As to who he wants her to be and like how that all fits in, we don't know yet. But he wants her to be in Hancock too. And not that she's already, busy and everything. And yeah, AD, I don't know how I feel about I Am Legend 2 either. And that's why I didn't even really want to talk about it. Because I didn't understand like how you would have a number 2. Like you have The Cure. Okay, what are you doing now? But I don't know how I feel about number 2. And and Jamie, if you feel the same way. So yeah, I don't know who asked for this and I don't know who wanted it, but number 2 for Hancock. That's a thing. Speaking of also number 2, season 2, we're talking about Monarch. It's an Apple TV show. It's called Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. So season 2 has officially wrapped their filming. So we should get some news here soon as to when it's supposed to come out and if we get any more like footage or images of what that would look like. And yeah, see, Blake is absolutely you're right. The first one did make me laugh, but I don't know if there was a need for the second one. And Jamie's in the comments. Thank you so much, Jamie, for being here. Super excited for Monarch, and Blake also enjoyed the first season. So, Monarch season 2 officially ended wrapping, and we should hear more here soon. Things that I really want to talk about, and I've been so excited to talk about it because it came out yesterday, and I've been dying to talk about it. So, Avatar, Seven Havens. Yo, all right. So, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a show that my husband got me into, and I've been loving it like really ever since. But they recently, as of yesterday, right, Dante Basco and I can't remember who else the other person was, made like a live kind of like reel and said that Seven Havens is going to be a thing. It's coming soon. So, what is Seven Havens? Seven Havens is actually going to be worked on by the original people that worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra. So, it's going to be good because like it's the same people, and the fact that um we're just really enjoying. I mean, okay, it's me, but really just enjoyed all of Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legends of Korra, then the Netflix show that we also have for Avatar: The Last Airbender live action that's been coming out. We're getting season 2 this year. Been super excited about all of that. And now we get this Avatar: Seven Havens. So, what this is supposed to be is a brand new Avatar animated series that's coming out after, like, years after The Legend of Korra. It's supposed to be 26 episodes, so, in 2 different books. So, you're going to get the first book, which is 13 episodes, and the second book, which is another 13 episodes. Jamie, I saw your comment, and I absolutely love that you're here too. And LOL, who is Blake? No, we do miss you, Blake. We really do miss you. Um, but yeah, so 26 episodes, 2 books. We don't know if it's like a water and fire type thing, like how we have the first Avatar, and how they're gonna dope that out. But this one is a earthbender who finds out that she's the Avatar, and you find out like how her training goes and everything. So we had an air, then we had water with Korra, and now we have an earthbender. I can't be happier, which means probably gonna get a fire, right? Hopefully. But super excited about that. I can't wait to talk about more of it when we get more information because I love it. But another thing that they kind of talked about a little bit was Aang, the Last Airbender, which is supposed to be a movie. And so what this is supposed to be is a upcoming animated movie that is right after Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's with Aang and the name of the girl whose name I just forgot, and I can't believe, and Toph. So and Zuko. So all of them are supposed to be, I can't believe I can't remember her name. The girl who Aang gets with. I'm so sorry, guys. But so this movie is all of them grown up as like young adults and kind of like going through life. And somebody who is in it is Dave Bautista. He's supposed to be in Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the Aang, The Last Airbender. Sorry, correction. What his role actually is, we don't know. Maybe he's going to be like an Uncle Iroh kind of thing. I don't know. But Dante Basco is reprising his role as Prince Zuko. So super excited about that, seeing how that goes. Because I love Dante Basco. Got to see him at a con, and it was so worth it, guys. Guys, it was so worth it. It's my Rufio. But yeah, that there's not really much other information on this. That's it. That's all of our Avatar news. But super, super happy that we got something. The next thing we're going to talk about is IGN FanFest. It's something that I didn't really know that was a thing. And looky, I got hooky. Yes, thank you. Oh my God. Yes, thank you, AD Katara. I can't believe I spaced on that. That is Das Boothang. You right. That is Boothang. So IGN FanFest is happening tomorrow, February 24th, and it kind of just gives us like a bunch of info on movies, games, and TV shows coming out. So there's like a panel for um, Daredevil Born Again. There's a lot of panels. I'm just gonna name off a few that really caught my eye, and I would know that Blake would also be like happy about these. So Daredevil Born Again. There's an upcoming season of The Walking Dead Dead City. Um, that's gonna have like its own little panel thing, so you might get an exclusive look. You might get something out of it. Um, Monster Hunter Wilds exclusive look, which um, super excited about it, and I can't wait for more of that because I have the game. I already pre-ordered it. I can't wait to play it, and I know that Blake is like super excited about Walking Dead. He says, "Let's go." Yeah, I knew it was coming. You right. I got you. I got you. Uh, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about for this was that there's a new A24 movie called Death of a Unicorn that's coming out, and they're going to have their own little panel with Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd, who are the two stars of the movie. Um, I don't really know much else about that movie. It does from the trailer itself. It does look super cute. Um, and yeah, it was just super cute. Speaking of things that were like super cute, oh my God, win or lose. I've been talking about it every now and then, any chance that I really can get. And the first two episodes of the season are finally out, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's so cute. It's absolutely adorable. And how are you slowly becoming okay, all right. How are you slowly becoming an A24 fan? Like it's A24 is great. Y2K apparently is great. My roommates watched it over the weekend and they were laughing hysterically. So if you haven't seen Y2K, which is an A24 film, um, apparently you should. So win or lose, super adorable. The first one, so it kind of looks like because I watched the two episodes, it looks like they follow different people that are involved in each other's lives, kind of. And it kind of gives like very Inside Out vibes. Again, it is Pixar's first ever series that they have uh, that came out, and yep, there you go. 80, you get on that because we got to get Blake up to speed with some really great stuff that A24 has been doing. But the first episode of Win or Lose is called Coach's Kid, and it follows a girl named Lori. And she is the girl that we got to see in the trailer for Win or Lose that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. Um, that it follows her with her little like sweat buddy, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Because super adorable, but also like I get it, me. So it opened up with Ave Maria, and these all kind of like open up with like a classic song, and the inside, the musician in me was just like I love this, and it was really cute. There was like this little kid that was like running away because his mom was trying to like grab him by his like heel and like spray him down with sunscreen. He's like, it burns. um, Anybody that has kids or has been a kid or had to have sunscreen put on them in the very hot summer heat knows that sunscreen is so cold. It's so cold. Um, so yeah, it's just something that you get used to or you don't or you leave the can out and now it's not as cold, but it always feels like cold to the touch anyway. um, you see that it opens with Lori and they're like it's your turn to go up to bat and she is missing all of the shots or all of the swings of the bat, right? She's trying to because it's baseball, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. um Lori's playing baseball. Her dad is the coach, which is why it's called the coach's kid. And she is really trying, and it kind of looks like her parents are going through a separation divorce thing. And she just wants to be more with her dad. And She wants to connect more with her dad. She took up baseball. It's apparently not really her thing, but she's trying. But because she's trying so hard, she has like all of this insecurities, and which it makes her sweat, and the sweat accumulates to make that her little buddy that was on her back. It turns into this ginormous, like big sweat thing by the end of the episode. And when her dad like finally comes and talks to her and comforts her, her insecurity kind of went down, and then she went up to the bat and she's like, "This is for you, Dad." And like now, like her insecurity is like, he's tiny, he's super tiny, because she doesn't have it anymore. Like her dad finally talked to her. There's a scene in it where like her dad was high fiving everybody, and because they all did like super great jobs to get them to the championship of baseball. And she holds her hand out to high five her dad, and he's just like, "And you tried your best." And she's just like standing there, and she just high fived herself, and it was amazing because anybody who's stood there with their hand up for a high five know exactly how that feels when you get denied. It doesn't feel great. Um, but it was super cute first episode, and then she's like, "I'm like whatever it takes, I'm gonna get to the first base." And like she like does something, and then the ball hits her. It looks like in the face, and it kind of just goes to black. Um, and yeah, it shows that it does truly matter how, like, when you talk to your kids and you can navigate them through their life, and that's really all that kids really need is like their parents. Um, so that's how the first episode ends. And then the second episode opens. It's called Blue. This one is following the umpire, that is like making all the shots in baseball. Sorry if I'm not with the terminology. I don't watch the baseballs, but this is an amazing show. Animated, super cute, super inside out vibes. Um, so again, it opens with like a classical song. I can't even remember what the classical song was, but it was super awesome. Um, he was with like it shows that he likes to put on armor, and it kind of got very video gamey very fast. So as soon as he made his last call that ended the game, you get to see all the parents slurring like insults at him, and he's just like, "Whoa, all right." And he just starts putting on like armor, and it's blue armor. That's he's protecting him, and he's like dip dive dodging all the insults, and then he puts the armor on. Then he's just like holding the little shield, and it's like bouncing off the shield, like ricocheting, and you kind of hear like the gunshots. Um, of how that sounds. And I thought it was like a really cool way of showing how like insults affect people, and then sometimes people put up armor because they don't want to deal with them. So he goes throughout his it's only 24 minutes every episode. So he goes through his 24 minutes of his episode, kind of showing that he was with another teacher because he is a teacher in his real time job. Um, and he was dating another teacher, and she had said that she wanted to get married, and he's like, "I'm not ready for that." And he puts on all of his armor because he was afraid of getting hurt. So then she leaves, and he tries to find love again, um, because he's ready to get out there. He's ready to put his feelings out there. And the first time that he talks to somebody on his like little Tinder app, whatever it is, he puts they just ask him simply like, "What are you doing this weekend?" And he puts on a bunch of armor like in real time, and he's freaking out, and he's like, "Oh, no, stuff and things." And then immediately that person leaves the chat because they're like, "What am I supposed to do with that?" But then the second time that he matches with somebody, which also that was super cute because like it shows him putting out a heart, and then the other person either putting out another heart or rejecting or swiping left, I think is what they call it. And that person just kind of like avoids the heart like altogether. So video games, they made it very video game like. And he finally like opens himself up, and level one, they literally say it's level one, is the two of them meeting, like matching on the Tinder-like app thing. Uh, Level 2 was him getting over his um like fear of explaining like his life and really being able to talk to this person. And then he gets to level 3, which is like they're about to meet up, and he gets really excited, and she's like, all right, like let's meet up. And he says, nope, still have feelings for my ex, and I gotta go deal with that. But thanks, I still want to be friends. And he like jumps off the side of the castle that they were on. Super adorable. And then he like runs to go find his ex, who now is engaged. So it's absolutely adorable, and I definitely recommend it for people that haven't seen it yet. And especially if like you enjoy Pixar and Inside Out, I think you would definitely enjoy this show. Um, so the next thing I want to talk about, oh shoot, hold on, real quick before I go. This is the armor that he puts on. So normally he's just wearing his regular Empire suit, but he puts on the blue armor to avoid the insults, and the insults are those yellow things that are coming at him, which are like super cute, right? It's super cute. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about real quick to finish up our educated wish is War of Rohirrim. We finally have a streaming date for those like me that haven't seen it yet and have been waiting to see it. It is coming to Max on February 28th. So just a couple of days from now, we will be able to watch War of Rohirrim if you haven't seen it yet, like me, and that is Friday. So very, very much here soon. Um, you'll be able to see it. I'm excited, and I can't wait to talk about it. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and go into our gaming segment. All right. So first things first. I'm the realist. No, but really, first things first. I want to talk about Marvel Rivals. So game that keeps on coming back, right? It's been talked about and talked about again on this podcast, but there's been like a rumor that they're working on a PvE mode. Um, which is player versus enemy, kind of like an enemy that the computer makes, not like player versus player, for those of you that don't know. And it looks like it's kind of the Fantastic Four going against like this big baddie. Super excited about that. But while they were announcing this and talking about this, they also laid off a bunch of their workers that were in Seattle. And it sounds like there hasn't been an official um, reason and kind of talk about this, but it kind of sounds from like the reading of the articles and stuff. It sounds like the reason that they let them go was because they weren't giving the product that they wanted. Like Marvel Rivals has been doing great, but the Seattle part or these people were supposed to work on something and do something, and they weren't giving what they needed to give to Marvel Rivals big head people. So they got let go of their job, and it just comes to show that if you don't do the work, you're not going to be able to do it. But today they did kind of leak Loom World, which is a new map that's supposed to be coming to Marvel Rivals itself. So stay looking out for that. I don't know. However you want to say it, that's how you're gonna say it. But another thing I want to talk about is Elden Ring, Night Rain. I did talk about Night Rain previous and how it looks absolutely beautiful. But there is a DLC that's going to be coming to Night Rain, and it has additional bosses and characters that are supposed to be coming out with that. So those of you that really enjoyed Elden Ring, you have a sequel coming, and probably lots of hours of your life. Tales of the Shire has been also another thing that I have been talking about time and time again. But guess what? It's supposed to be coming out this quarter of this year, which is the first quarter, which is March. And They delayed it again. But that's okay. I think. I don't know. I'm just kind of whatever about it at this point. It's supposed to now coming out July 29th. The game looks amazing. I loved Animal Crossing and I love Lord of the Rings, and this is a mashup of both, and I can't wait to play it, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to play it, and I just really want to play it, is all I'm trying to say. But really, that's it for uh, my gaming segment, and yeah, the will we not hear from Tay about Tales of the Shire? I don't know. When it comes out, I guess, is when we won't hear about it anymore. Or I guess if it just eventually goes off into the deep end and just turns into dust. Uh, that is my life, I guess, at this point. But the last thing that we're gonna go into is some con spotlight, which is something that we talked about at the beginning. It's in Scotland, so let's go. I can't do a Scotland accent, sorry, but here we go. All right. So this con is called Comic-Con Scotland, which is in Aberdeen, Aberdeen, sorry, Aberdeen, Scotland. So this is kind of like what it looks like their logo. And it's going to be March 1st and 2nd, so this coming weekend. It's in P&J Live, Aberdeen. So some of the guests that are going to be there are Billie Piper. For those of you who don't know, she is Doctor Who. She is Rose, and I love her absolutely so much. We have Mara Wilson, which is Matilda. It's my childhood right there. Another person that's coming is Sean Gunn. Gilmore Girls, Guardians of the Galaxy. You can choose whichever you like, but this man has so much that he does. I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy for him. I guess I'm not proud. I don't know. Anyway, another person that's coming is Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And yes, I know that we usually just do actors and actresses here, but it's WWF and I call them actors. It's okay. But I love the just the wide range that they have here. And last but not least, Peggy, aka Dogpool, is going to be there from your very own Deadpool and Wolverine. So those of you that want to meet Peggy herself, this would be a great opportunity for you to do so. And yeah, Sean Gunn, amazing. I have nothing bad to say. Um, so they do have a Q&A area, and they have panels for their day one. So they have a Sean Gunn one there, right? They have a whole Walking Dead cast that's supposed to be there. Doctor Who, like we said, that Billie Piper and Boulder Gate. And then this is what day two looks like. We have WWE, Matilda, and Aliens, which is super awesome. But I would like to say that even though there is a Q&A panel segment type thing that will be going on, yes, Peggy is hands down a must see. But even though like they have that Q&A panel and they have really great things going on, the thing that has me super excited about this con is that they will have a actual flying X-wing there. They already flew it to Aberdeen because it doesn't just stay there, so they had to fly it out to Aberdeen, and somebody actually saw it like while it was, I guess, like flying in the air, and then they had no idea that that was actually what they saw until the Comic-Con Scotland actually like made a post on their Facebook, and they were like, "Hey man, if you see it in the sky, that was an actual thing. Post your pictures if you got it." And it was absolutely like amazing and incredible. But it will be at the Comic Con, kind of like in the as soon as you walk in the left side is where it's supposed to be. So I thought that was super neat and super cool. So I was like, cool, you got panels. I'll talk about the panels for you, but if you go, you got to go see that X-Wing, man. That's so cool. But without further ado, that is, that is today's episode. Thank you so much for everybody that stopped by, that hung out, and got me through my first ever solo run of a podcast. I'll see you guys later. Peace. As soon as I get to the thing. Oh, shoot. I am so sorry. And the logo.